Blessed risings, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where in the world you are tapping in from. You got to keep in mind that KPP Podcast is a global show. And today, on this episode of Those Model Citizens, we will be discussing 3.5 million families in Japan order KFC for Christmas every year. Here's why. No, people, you ain't gonna tell me, Rachel Rapoposas. Rapoposas. You ain't about to tell me. I'm going to tell you. I already know why. And we'll be discussing that and more after these brief messages. And we're back. Don't let them people try to tell you something. Don't let them try to tell you don't believe your lying eyes. I know why they want KFC. I know why. Why they want some of that fried chicken. And you know why too. Hello, McFlizzle, not trying to tell you what to think, trying to show you how to think. That's the reason why we break down the articles the way that we do here on the KPP podcast, where we take news situations and everyday occurrences and we show how one could or could not be keeping it P. And I am your host today, TZ Von Savage, in the place to be. It's about cultural appropriation. Yep, KFC did it too. That's all. They just copying white mommy and zaddy. And the colonel said to eat black food, this chicken, give us them yens. We want all your yens. And tricked y'all into eating something, especially for a holiday that you don't even feng shui with. Right? Every Christmas, 3.5 million families in Japan order KFC for their holiday meals, creating a cultural phenomenon that has continued to grow since its inception in the 1970s. But for many Black Americans, a deeper question arises when considering why a culture that has historically been known to harbor anti-FBA sentiments would choose to partake in such an iconic dish tied to Black American history and tradition. Hmm. The practice sparks curiosity and controversy, especially when it comes to the complex history of cultural appropriation and racial dynamics in the Asian community when it comes to Negroes. It's just right down the middle. In Japan, KFC's Christmas tradition began with a successful marketing campaign in the 1970s. I already pointed that out for y'all, right? This is breaking it down and going into it. What I tell you, cultural appropriation by the Colonel himself, right? Right? The Neanderthal himself that capitalized on the popularity of fried chicken and positioned it as the perfect holiday meal. The advertisement titled Kurisumasu Nawa Kanamakiti, or Kentucky for Christmas. Be white for Christmas, resonated with the Japanese public, and soon KFC became synonymous with Christmas celebrations across the nation. Now, millions of families line up for their holiday orders of fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and other KFC favorites as part of their festive feast. And now they line up for fried chicken, mashed potatoes, and other Negro favorites as part of their Japanese festive feast. But for Black Americans, this tradition prompts an intriguing question. How did a country with history of anti-FBA sentiments come to embrace one of the most iconic dishes, multiple dishes of Black American, foundational Black American culture, fried chicken, mashed potatoes, your coleslaw, your biscuits, your macaroni and cheese, Cultural appropriation or respect? Yeah, it's not respect because you ain't giving us the props. You giving it to KFC, really. So you really like this Kentucky food. What you talking about? I'm eating American food. Foundational Black American food. Right. Fried chicken is a symbol of Black American culinary heritage, often linked to Southern cooking in the history of Black Americans. You notice it ain't from Jamaica? Did you notice that it ain't Jamaica? They ain't ask for no jerk chicken. Did you notice they don't want jerk chicken? Did you notice they don't want no plantains? Did you notice that? I'm just trying to make sure we're noticing that they ain't want no red snapper. Did you see that? They ain't want no curry goat. Did you see that? And I ain't saying some of that ain't fire if you know what you're doing. I'm just simply saying. It says Southern cooking. It didn't say it's not Jamaican cooking. It ain't African cooking. So when they're talking about this Black American, this foundational Black American, this Black cooking. So when we're talking about these reparations and this Southern cooking, this Southern history, this Southern lineage, stop trying to make yourself a part of something you wasn't a part of. Okay? So when people are trying to have this American experience, it's the Black American experience, the good parts, of course. The good parts, of course. And this is thus the reason for the reparations. Right, because you're stealing all the credit. Kentucky chicken. You're stealing all these American customs, right? But it's Black American, which is the fabric, foundational Black Americans, the fabric, the foundation of America, which is Black. Yet it's also been a subject of racial stereotypes used to demean and dehumanize Black people throughout history, which I'm sure you've used, Asian people, from early portrayals in the media to the use of fried chicken as a racist trope. But you're making money off it all while you'll use it as a racist trope. Do you see the trickery? Huh? Do you see the white supremacy? Do you see how it can be used by others that are not Caucasian? Do you see that? Right? It's clear that the food has had a complicated legacy. The practice of Japanese people eating KFC on Christmas, while seemingly innocent on the surface, raises questions about cultural appropriation. And see, that's to the if you haven't been watching the show, we're that's why you would believe it's seemingly innocent. That's why we're trying to give you the tools. Hello, McFlizzle, not trying to tell you what to think, trying to show you how to think, right? Trying to show you how to use your own head to try to break it down. Read between the lines. And a lot of times, like I said, there is no lines. I've said this on multiple shows. There's no lines to read between. They laid it out simple. Everybody can see. Everybody knows fried chicken is used as a racist trope. Right. We know this. Right. So now all of a sudden you're making money off of said racist trope. You know the stereotype of it, yet now you go to another country selling it as your own. But back home, you're using it race or trope. And then how do you embrace a dish of one's culture but not the culture? So you oh, it's innocent, but then Japan doesn't want it. Japan, oh, I embrace the dish and its genuine appreciation of the Black culture, right? Or no, I'm simply it's taking a piece of the culture and commodifying it, right? Right. We don't eat Now I'm already hearing people, well, y'all eat Chinese food. Is it really Chinese food? Is it? Do they really eat that in China? What they sell as Chinese food here, do they eat that in China? Can I go to China to the restaurant and buy that? Is there General's Tao's chicken? Is there orange chicken? Huh? Do they even have stir fry? Do you call it stir fry? Huh? Do you got broccoli and chicken? Right? Right? Or is it really a name for that dish and it's really way out there and it's really something else and it has chicken feet in it and they call it something else? No, when you what you're eating is it is a watered down version because it's been caucasied. If you it's been male sized if you want. But that's just more reason why you would love the authentic version. But you would have to directly engage with said culture to have that. You would have to let said culture come over. You would have to embrace it. It would have to be immersed inside your society. And you're like, hell no. The Colonel's fine with me. I will take the watered down diet black version anytime. Whitewash the Negroes for me. Yes, please. Mayo, mommy, and zaddy. Sign me up. That's what they say. Oh, listen. You want all of the you want all of the goods, but you don't want none of the blues. See, you want all the rhythm, you want all the soul, but you don't want none of the blues. And that's the problem that we're having. That's the problem that we're having. Now, please don't think I'm talking about the funk that y'all be having with your little colonialism and the discrimination against your little African immigrants and all that. That ain't my business. That ain't my business. I'm talking about y'all biting specifically the FBA culture, all while harboring anti-FBA sentiments. That's what I'm talking about. And so it raises questions on why you would consume a food rooted deep in said culture. That's all. Aren't y'all? Oh, see, you're rooted. You say you feel shame, and I'm sure you do. That's why you guys commit some of the highest rates of suicide, right? Because of the shame of trying to be something you're not and trying to curry favor, right? Just admit it. You know, like the world knows, American culture is foundational Black American culture. That's what we learned here today, boys and girls. Everyone knows it. I'm not going to hold you. I'm just going to mold you, fold you, and scold you about being off code. Going to leave you with 4 words as we always do around this time. Subscribe for the vibe, like for the spike, comment your vomit, and share if you care, if you dare to get Black empowerment everywhere. We're on all of the platforms: Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook. Come and take a look. You might get hooked. Don't get shook by the fake Keep It P podcasts that are out there. A little love, peace, blessings, in Maloha. I gotta go high for sure high. You already know how. Big brother, light bright, supremo, mighty. Signing off.